Yes, hello everyone from this Hugo from Skybo and from Matt Walter. Hi Matt,
Hey, Alice. Nice to have you here today.
nice to have you. So tell us, what are we doing today?
Today we are announcing our great new product called Solution Studio Online, and this will really change something in the um, development of business apps on SharePoint, I would say.
Well, that's I think we can say that we are really proud on what our colleagues from engineering there have been doing for the past year, where we really want to fully simplify development of the business solutions, the concrete use cases on top of SharePoint Online for now, and very soon for SharePoint on premises. So Matt,
Yes.
let's start the presentation. First, welcome everyone who has come today. We have quite a number of attendees and the number growing all the time. So a lot of those things we will be showing you today are very new, and we are very excited on how you guys are going to react on this. And please ask the question. Our colleague Andy Meyer in the background. Hi Andy. I will be collecting your questions, and we will be trying to answer as much of those questions on the end of this webinar as possible. The webinar will be like 80% will contain from demos. We have very little number of slides because we figured you guys wouldn't really like to hear to watch the slideshows. So that's the reason why we will be pushing the questions for the end of the show, and Andy will help us to organize and to pick up the questions, and Matt and me are going to answer them then live. So Matt, I'm giving you the microphone.
Yeah, thanks. So for the agenda, as you already mentioned, we have only a couple of slides about the concepts. What is it all about? What is Skybo Solution Studio Online? Some of you maybe already know our stuff or our products for SharePoint Server, and this is really a new Solution Studio for SharePoint Online. And then, of course, the biggest part of this webinar will be the demo, where we build a solution together. And in the end, we will talk about how we go forward, what is our roadmap, and how we want to integrate every one of you into our development cycle. And of course, Q&As, if there are still some open questions, Andy will answer, if possible, directly. So that's the agenda for today.
Let's go on.
So, that is.
Well, you're part because this is my slide, or okay.
Of course.
So the whole idea, what we were, the guiding idea that we wanted what we wanted to achieve with this product is to allow end-to-end development on top of SharePoint Online, because all of you guys who know SharePoint Online, you are very familiar with the concept of the site collection, sites, lists, libraries, pages, content types. Those are all beautiful SharePoint segments. And of course, there are underlying technologies like in SharePoint on premises back then, event handlers or timer jobs. Right now, we have things like webhooks, immute event receivers. With Azure functions, we can kind of simulate timer jobs. But those are all very low-level building blocks for SharePoint solutions. There is really no easy way to build a solution, really a solution on SharePoint, without immediately powering up Visual Studio or any other editor, JavaScript editor of your choice, and doing development stuff. So what we are doing with Sky Solution Studio Online is giving you guys possibility, a power to actually start building use cases, not thinking about underlying business building blocks. On one side, we'll give you option to model your data, to prepare concrete data models, to make beautiful UIs on top of that models, as Matt is just showing right now. We'll be giving you a possibility to define real processes on top of those UI, including like approval processes or any kind of automated processes in the background, and on the end of the day to create reports or to integrate dashboards. That's from the development side, from the solution development side. From the governance side, we are also going to give you a full cycle of a possibility of governing a solution, packaging it, and deploying it to target sites. So this is one end-to-end approach of building business solutions on top of SharePoint Online. Matt, can we switch, go on with the slide? From a high level, from the architectural perspective, your data remains in SharePoint. So we are not using any, for the moment, any third-party data stores or any other stuff. We still speak about your data in SharePoint lists, in SharePoint libraries. This is the blue box down there. On top, in the green boxes, our Solution Studio Online gives you the possibilities to really to create UIs, to create processes, and to deploy this all. What this Solution Studio does, it's a software as a service, as also SaaS product. What this Visual Studio does, it does inject JavaScript and cascading style sheets into your SharePoint sites, giving you all these solution parts which we are going to see in the demo. So the message of this slide is actually it's your data in SharePoint. It does not leave your SharePoint. Technologies which we are using in the background are fully client side, so there is no full trust code. There is no messing around with some server side deployments. It's all JavaScript and CSS. And this green part on top is just our it's just our integrated environment, which actually makes you able to create those solutions.
Yes, thanks. That's right, and that's already all of the slides, and we're
basically, yes,
directly going into the demo. So our demo case for today is, like some of you already know, our demo case is a wine cellar. So it's like an asset management in general. You're managing some kind of objects in SharePoint with master and slave behaviors. We call them case files, as you can see with these tabs. And there is a wine with its inventory and some stuff that is happening in the background, calculations and so on. Like the total amount, the average price is just a calculation from down here. And this is how the result should look like. And here, Edis, can you tell me a little bit about this model here, the entity model? So we have different lists that are already in SharePoint. So we've already created them because we don't want to annoy you by creating
we don't want to
lists.
lose time creating a list and libraries actually. So we have a model here. Basically, it's a typical asset management example where we want to manage the inventory of our wine cellar. So both Matt and me are coming from wine regions and actually like to enjoy some wine from time to time. So we thought, why not? For the heck, let's do this as an example. As you see here, we have a numbers list of libraries in SharePoint. The main list, which we call case file list, is binds. It's dependent on the list, has lookup fields to the list like manufacturers, regions, countries, and varietals. What you all what you know want to know about one wine. But then for each wine, we have a sub-lists, a list which depend on wines. Those are like inventory. This is the list where we actually manage the inventory of our cellar. List of tastings, whenever we want really to taste wines. List of recipes, picture library of pictures of a wine, and the list of retailers of wine. From where do we come buy this wine? The list of retailers on its own then has a lookup field also to countries, which also has a lookup field from wine. So we see here we have 10 lists and libraries all together, and you know how sometimes difficult in standard SharePoint UI is to bring all those things together to manage it actually from there. And we will watch Matt how he actually built this solution from the scratch.
Exactly. So let's go to the demo. I will switch to my browser, and Actually, to go to Solution Studio, it's available for every one of you. So you can simply open up a browser and go to whether solutions.skype.com or my.skype.com. That's the our portal. And if you don't have an account yet, you can simply register down here for free, and you will get an account for the portal, and as well it's the same account for Solution Studio. So in my browser I'm already logged in. That's our portal, and here you can find stuff like discussions, ideas, stuff like this. So the whole community, the learning part, and as well the Solution Studio. So the Solution Studio is over here. You can directly go to Solution Studio here or here as well with this button, and you are redirected to our Solution Studio overview page. First time when you log in, you will see this screen where you have a short video. You can see your existing examples over here, or existing solutions, so to say, and yeah, all the necessary links into the community. So how to create an idea, use the discussion forum, and so on. And as well, a tour how to start. So it's really everything described how you can create a solution. But let's simply go back and do this together. So we will add a new solution directly from here, clicking new solution. At the moment, we can, in the first version, we have launched this week. We have the possibility to create a solution from scratch. In the future, we are working on starting from an existing solution or whether from store, but right now starting from scratch. So this screen is where you will create your solution, and therefore you need to have an existing SharePoint Online site. So let's go to this tab over here. I've created a sub-site. It's just a standard SharePoint team site with this URL. And as you can see in the background, we have already created a couple of lists, but these are just standard lists, as you can see, a custom list or picture library, stuff like this.
That's basically those lists which we have shown in the last slide.
Exactly. They are already here. They are already containing a couple of items. Just there is already some content in there. But you can start really with an empty team site. That's the way how you would really start from scratch, and you can create this libraries and lists as well in Solution Studio.
I think it's best that we see it how it works.
Exactly. Just copy the URL, because we need to add the URL down here afterwards. Give him a name like wine cellar, like this, and give it the URL where you want to build your solution. Simply agree to the license stuff and then create it. So maybe here for the tech guys of you, first time when you create a solution, the very first time, you need to have the approval of a tenant admin. So you would be redirected to your login page of this SharePoint. That's what I already did. So I'm automatically redirected, and yeah, this is the Solution Studio Online, the overview, the working space here, and here as well we could have a short tour. But first step is really starting with a new dossier case file, how you want to call it.
Let's just demystify the word dossier for the people watching us. Dossier is actually a Switzerland German word for a case file. You wouldn't even tell it in a German. German is really a Swiss word. And since Skybo is coming from Germany, well, we thought he would bring some Swiss flavor into whole this thing. So you guys are going to live with the dossiers.
Exactly. So these are the solution elements, and you can see pages, libraries. We will see that afterwards.
Let's just
We
start with
want to start with a new dossier, pressing plus, or in the bubble here from Bob. So um, everything will work with a simple wizard. So the goal of Solution Studio is as well no jumping back and forth from here to SharePoint to create something and then back to Solution Studio. Everything should be in one flow. So here, the first step of this wizard is we want to select a list. Can be a new list from several templates, SharePoint standard templates,
yeah, we can
or
start from
we
the
can
scratch.
use existing. Yeah, if you want to start from scratch, you can really use this functionality. Or in our case, because we want to, we don't have the time for creating everything, we are using existing lists that are already in the background. So our main list will be the wines. So this is our list. And in the next step, we have our column editor. Column editor is simple to use. As you can see, you can delete columns, go to the edit of a column, and simply change the order by drag and drop.
Or add new columns from here.
Of course, you can add new columns down here. And this is what we will do in some other lists. So simply, these are this is already done. So simply go to the next steps. And now we are at configuring sub items. So these are the sub lists, and we will add a couple of them here. So first, again, we will use existing lists. We will add the wine inventories.
Keep in mind
This
this
is
diagram we had here a slide ago. Those are the lists we are adding now as a sublists.
exactly. So the slaves, so to say.
Yeah.
As well, again, column editor for this list will show up. Again, we will, it's already done here. You can see, okay, we have one sublist here. We can add additional ones. So simply click again. What else do we have? We have tastings. That's another sublist. Go ahead. All done here as well. And the third list will be, let me see, recipes.
Yeah, now.
Here we go.
Exactly that one.
So
what I didn't tell you, I did not create a list for retailers. That's the list missing on our site, and Matt is going just to show you now. If we don't have a seed list created, how would actually this work?
yeah, so we can really create a new list in here. We call them retailers.
Exactly.
And then second one is the columns, of course.
Yeah, we will
so
that one, like retailer name, retailer address, website, this kind of stuff.
exactly, we can add new columns. Let's just do one
Website.
of them.
Not to lose too many times.
Yes, that's the standard column add dialog, as you know. So website is a URL field.
So let's add two more columns. Let's add a lookup column to the list of countries, because we don't know, we want to know from which country is retailer coming.
So let's add this column called country.
We're going to choose existing lookup list.
So this is down here, standard. Oh, come on. It's countries. We select countries. Yes, like this. That's okay.
Yeah.
And now we will add another lookup to a list like retailer types.
Yeah, because you could have online retailers, department store retailers, or supermarket retailers, doesn't really matter. But it's a lookup list, basically.
Instead of a choice field, we will take a lookup list. And in this case, the retailer type is not yet here. So normally, out of the box, you would need to go back, create your new list that it's available in here. What we extended is you don't need to go away from the wizard, you can simply click Add New List, and another wizard will show up where you can create a new list, use existing list, exactly the same. So you take another custom list, retailer types, and let's do something in here like changing the title to like name or time. Yeah,
So you see,
like
we
this.
never leave Solution Studio online. We never went to SharePoint user interface. You never need to switch back and go forth. You are creating your data model from here directly.
Exactly. And this list is created in the background, and it's automatically populated to the drop-down. We're still in creating the new lookup field.
Yeah.
It's automatically selected. Name is in here, so everything fine. We've created a new list in this wizard. So that's it here. Of course, we can add new columns, stuff like this. Just finish for now. We have the 4 lists. You can still reorder them here as well, but that's okay. And then before creating the dossier, you need to confirm again that everything is okay. You can still go back or just click finish. And this will take a couple of seconds. What it is actually doing in the background, we create a standard. We create, we change, as you can see, the first ones we are changing the layout of forms and views. We are for those of you who knows already our rich forms component, we are also we will see that afterwards. We will directly modify the display form that it's already look like a dossier. So the stuff we saw in here. So it will already be pretty similar to this figure what we see here. That's all created in the background. As well, action links, that's another product.
Add-ins, which we also have in Office Store.
Add-ins in the store, in Office Store. The default actions as well as search, so as to filter a list based on metadata. That's what we will see as well. And of course, adding the whole configuration to our solution elements. So as you can see, retail list was the only one we've created manually. The others are here as listed as sublists. So
here we are. Let's make a homepage for having later, and let's just start this whole thing to see what did we get.
Yes, just this, what you mentioned here was if you want to have this view here. So the standard SharePoint list view. So we have a quick access over here. And if we want to make this view of the wine list as a home page, we can simply switch to all items and make it as a home page. So if we go and to SharePoint, you can use the play button over here, and you are redirected to the list. So as you can see, we already have the list. We have these are what we call action links. So a link to click to add a new wine. We will see other scenarios later on. We have a search over here where we can already search for Primitivo,
We'll be
for example.
customizing this all right now in a second.
Maybe, that's one thing. It's at the moment it's equal, so I would need to take the correct name. We will change that later on.
Let's open Primitivo. Let's open Primitivo. Let's see what's going on there.
Exactly. So Primitivo is already like this. So we have the tabs with some recipes, nice pictures, but of course we already prepared this the content. So but you can see it's all here, it's all connected.
And so client side.
It's all client side. You got a couple of actions that have been added to add stuff into this here. Because, for example, if I add a new wine, I want the wine to be automatically selected. That is one thing that we can do directly. And as you know, in SharePoint, this would be none, and you need to
Yeah, we do help
select.
you guys to get the adoption better with those things.
Exactly.
But if
But
we
this
go
is
now back to the list of all wines, it still looks pretty ugly. Let's try to make it a bit nicer.
This one here. So in here we have all the columns shown, and it's just we want to change this view, for example. So still here we have our toolbox over here. So the toolbox, for example, if we are on list view, we can simply go here and deselect the columns we don't like all these regions. We will, but let's take,
Get the picture
this is,
out and then get the description out.
for example, like this description picture. Just apply, you will see.
And you see how the things change immediately. Yeah, that looks much nicer right now.
Like this. Let's as well change the search over here. That's our list view search.
Cool.
We want to search as well in this list, for example, for a country.
Or for the wine type.
Or the wine type maybe first. So there are all the fields, and you can see what's happening in the background. We simply select wine type. We select country.
And we are adding filtering criteria on top. This is cool.
Exactly.
It's really 2 clicks away to add those kind of things.
And then we can even make it more specific. We can click on this small filter icon where we can define what is actually the comparison. So in this case, that's why I didn't find the Primitivo, because it begins with. So I need to take contains, and then I can as well give the user an indication, contains.
Exactly.
For the input type. Of course, we can simply drag and drop the stuff and just take it as it is, like this. Save it.
Let's make it also automatic filtering.
Oh, yeah,
Kind of
you're
cool.
right. I forgot here on this. We can as well say the filter should be applied automatically without pressing the save button. So that's pretty cool. So everything is done here. If we go back, just reload the page.
Or press play on the other side.
Of course. We will see that there is a search over here. We have the list adjusted, and of course we can simply filter lists based on its metadata. Okay. So it's a combination. We can say Italy, and there we have the one from the Primitivo.
Yeah.
That's the search component. And let's go back and do some other stuff.
Yes, before you go on, I would just like to shortly to tell people watching us what do we see here. As you see here, we have 4 main blocks of this screen. On the left side, we have all solution elements. You see lists, main list, which is in our case vines. We have sub-items, which are sub-lists like inventory, tasting, recipes, retailers. And for each of those lists or sub-lists, we see all associated forms like display form, edit form, new form, and views. In this case, we have only one view per list because those are the default views. But there are lists in this site which are not associated with dossier, but still somehow important. We would like maybe to also change input forms of those lists. In this case, we have retailer types. But if you would like, let's say, to modify a list of countries, it's very easy to add a list of countries there because it already exists there. You just click on this add. If we are going to use existing list, or we could also add a new one, but we're going to use existing list and call it and pick up the countries. Yeah, let's just take it as it is. And voila, we can also now manage countries here. On the top, for each list which is selected, we can manage a few basic stuff. Like we can manage display form, new form, edit form, or all items forms. For display, new form, and edit form, those are the things that you use. Those of you guys who know our rich forms, basically you would have now full power of rich forms in the background to manage those stuff. On the right side, depends on the context, you can do lot of different types. If you now go to the new display form, some of you maybe managed that we had also a picture library called Vine Pictures, if you remember. So let's just add this picture library there, because we forgot to add it in the meantime.
Wizard.
We can, yeah.
Yeah, we forgot to add it in the wizard, so we can simply
Go down. You see, we are context aware. Show more. Vine Pictures. Click on the arrow. Voila, it's there on the right side. Takes few seconds.
It's added into a new tab automatically, and
you can even add new tabs manually and put your own stuff, web parts, whatever you would like there. It's like really a click away if you would like.
And if you, for example, you want to have the inventory not in this tab, simply grab it, move it outside, select details, and move it into detail somewhere. So let's add it down here, for example. So this is all the rich forms functionality. We can delete this here. For those of you who didn't were in the rich forms webinar, there is another webinar about rich forms. If you are interested in all the functionality that is available regarding about forms, stuff like this, they are
powerful forms editor for SharePoint now in the market.
Exactly. So you can simply go to our webinar section on the website, and you will find all the other webinars that are available.
But nonetheless, let's just show some basic features of rich forms available, because all the features of rich forms are available in the Solution Studio. Let's just show some basic stuff. What can you do? Let's add new form and add a sublist there, just to show our people watching us how easy that actually is.
So with the wizard, it's only modifying by default the display form. So if we go here and add a new wine, you will still see that it's the standard SharePoint new form like this. And if you want to modify this new form, we can simply switch to the new form and then, come on, transform it into an enriched mode. So right now it's still standard, and as you can see, click to edit with one click. It's as well like the edit this form, it's transformed into this rich forms mode, where you can start drag and drop the fields, add business logic to it, and as well use the toolbox, for example, to add a group with header. So a group with header is this one here. Simply use this, and maybe you want to have some of the fields only visible if it's collapsed, expanded, so to say. So simply move them into this group with header and collapse it. With a double click, you can.
There are really dozens of layouting options with rich forms, organizing those fields into tables, into lists, into accordions, like with these group forms. It's really very simple. We don't want to lose time on that one very much, because this is all functionality which you guys already know from our rich forms. The point here, it's also fully implemented in Solution Studio. What's also cool, the one thing which is cool implemented, is one of our favorite features from the rich forms, is adding a sublists directly in the new forms or edit forms. So let's just show this to the viewers, Matt, how this looks like. So remember, we are still in the new form, and we are going to add a sublist of inventory directly in this form.
Yeah, so we select the place where we want to add this sublist. We go here to sublists, and in this case, we want to add the inventory directly to the new form. Simply click the arrow here, and the list is integrated into our form as a grid view. So as you can see here, it's a grid view. it's still a standard web part, so you can still change everything, move it around where you want to have it, and so on. And you can as well add business logic into the fields here.
Yeah,
so
let's just calculate the title for example, not to lose too many time.
Exactly. Let's just go here, behaviors, that's where the magic happens, and go to a calculation here.
We are making it a calculated column on a client side, and you are getting our famous, in the meantime, expression language fully based on JavaScript, but context aware, because you can now really pick up from the fields from the master list or from the slave lists, as you see here. What Matt is doing right now. Matt is just now concatenating two strings: title of by name from the master. This field has the internal name title, and the year from the slave.
And because we've added the sublist, it's automatically recognized the sublist. So we can simply go to the column and say you want to have this year. Now it's just a string, so we can change the expression type. So we have different expression types.
Let me just shortly pick up that we have three types of expressions here. We have templates, which is basically like a string builder. Whatever you do, it will format the text nicely. We have assignments, which is basically made for the one-liner codes, very similar to Excel functions based on JavaScript syntax plus placeholders, which you see on the right side. And we have function code. This is the third one. This is where you basically can write a fully fledged JavaScript. You get a JavaScript editor basically with syntax coloring and all the other stuff. For this simple example right now, we just need a template, which is basically a string builder. We click save, and let's save this and let's try the magic, basically. Let's try
I just disable it with this false token. So we go to save, and let's go back to our new form. So it's loading the new form. We have the list down here. Title is disabled. If I type in a year, it's calculating the year. Now I missed my title over here, so my wine name, so I can add like Alto.
You love Italian wines, obviously.
Yeah. And you can see it's automatically updating the value down here as well.
So this is a client-side JavaScript-powered calculation being immediately put inside.
Exactly. But let's don't lose too much time on this form stuff.
So I just want to say one more thing. If we would click a save now, let's fill up this form and let's click on save, just to show our viewers that in this moment when we do this, two or more list items are going to be saved. Of course, the wine, but also all the sub items from wine inventory. So, and they are going to be properly committed to SharePoint lists and properly connected to the lookup fields. So this all works out of the box, to put it that way. Let's put just some basic data onto that one. Now when we click save,
of course we can do a lot more stuff, calculations in here, for example the total price, but let's
make that
leave it for now.
Calculated, of course, but let's just show how it works. Basically now when you go to this auto line, which Matt just created, then we go to the we see down there, because we don't have it in a tab anymore. Matt changed it to down there. We see that it's immediately this auto 2011. It's there.
Exactly. So it really creates the two things and connect them via lookup. But if you press cancel, nothing is created in the background. So that's basically.
This is now all client side. What if we want to calculate total amount and average price? But if we want to calculate it from a server side, let's say.
So you mean the
background?
The totals in the background. Yeah. We have some columns on this wine list because this calculation was just done client side in the form, and we have this, for example, this total amount down here, and this is can be calculated server side. So means we can edit this column here in the things in the background, in the column editor of each list. And there we have an additional possibility over here for values. Values is really all about aggregation, what we are doing right now, metadata inheritance, just calculating a value, and we have a lot of different possibilities. So in this case, we want to have a total from this sublist here, and we are taking the field amount. So this will be our total amount.
Let's explain this reduced calculation delay. You quickly until I explain. Usually for your techie guys around you, around here, we use webhooks, which is since yesterday in general availability in SharePoint, which is fully client-side background processing thing. The point is with webhooks for SharePoint, it still takes like 3 to 4 minutes for webhook to catch in. We've got alternative mechanism called remote event handlers. You just need to trust it once in the beginning, and now you are delegating recalculation to another mechanism called remote event handlers, which is basically fired in seconds. So this is how you actually speed up those calculations. Basically, tech guys around among you, you choose between webhooks and remote event handlers on one side. So we create a total amount. Let's do the same for the average price.
Yep, like this. Let's take the average.
Yep.
Take the price per bottle. That's it. You see, it's not anymore here, the link, so that's it for now.
Save and open.
Yeah, we can already switch back to our SharePoint, and maybe we need to add some more wine or switch to another one. But you can see we've already 10 and 12. Of course, it's only one item, so let's add another one. Just add this. Of course, everything can be calculated as well. It's not
this is uncustomized form. We can also make this prettier if you want, but let's keep it now as it is.
Let's take 10, 5, something like this. Price per bottle is 20, and what do we have? 100. Yeah. Like this. Calculation is done in the background, so it depends on the speed. If after a reload, we should already see what is being calculated. Not yet.
It will come eventually. Basically, it takes a few seconds to remove event handlers in SharePoint Online to catch this and to show this. It will come eventually. Can we go to the main list?
Sure, just one try.
Okay.
Not yet.
It will come eventually. Let's go to the main list, to the all wines.
Here.
So what we have now is list of wines. I want to have some kind of notification if I have too little wines from some list. What can we do here?
You mean the status? We want to see this visually. If there is a less wine or not enough wine, we can add for this. We can add a new column in the background. We call this stock status,
or however we want to call it. Yeah.
Stock status, and we take a picture for this.
Okay, we want visualizations here.
Yes, like standard picture field, and how we can use calculations as well is like this. So we simply, I will just grab a small snippet. We can go again to the values, and now we can use an expression to calculate the value of this field. So again, we have this expression editor in here as well. And what we are going to do is a simple function code.
And back to JavaScript.
This is my function. Maybe I can make it a little bit bigger. So we just set the URL if the total amount is between 0 and 10, we will add a warning, and if it's 0, then we will have the error. And otherwise, we have the OK PNG. So these are images we have in the background. And this is our calculation. So if the total amount is changing, the picture will change as well. So that's the calculation. We can save it. And if we go back to our list, maybe we can see it already. Yes. So we have a cool like a signal visually how the status of our wine is. That is calculated.
KPIs in a few seconds here.
Yeah, let's add 5 bottles here shortly. So here to this one, yeah, just give it a title. 5 like this. And after a few seconds, we will see that this will change to a warning signal. So let's see. It's not yet.
I think we need to refresh it once more. But you see, for example, the calculation for this auto wine is already there. But yeah, now we can also this warning signal. So basically, it works. Calculated fields work on a very, very similar level to this one. So one thing you remember, if you go to Primitivo, if you go to Primitivo, we added those pictures. There's we find pictures which is now totally empty. Very often it's a problem with document libraries which are connected to some other document. They don't have metadata populated. You actually want to search those document libraries by metadata, but this is not something that you usually do. For example, now when we upload those pictures, they have 0 metadata. This is just not something you want to do. Are pictures which are associated with the Primitivo. So there's a cool function of Solution Studio to actually inherit the metadata from the parent list, which is in our case wine list, so that those pictures, those 3 here, are all can also be searched through standard SharePoint search and actually found by those metadata. So can you just show us how this works, Matt?
Just one thing before, I want to have this the columns in this view that we can see them.
Show those columns.
I need to add them to the column to the view. So like here, standard web part. So standard scenario. Come on, like this. I will simply add these 3 fields. We've added the field wine name, wine type, and variable.
Yeah.
Like this. So they should be available below here.
Yeah, they are
on
just
the right side. And now, as we have these fields available in here, we can go again here to the background of not here on the picture library. So we need to switch to the wine pictures, go as well to the background and to these columns. So variable is a lookup like we have on the wine, and we can simply go again to the values here, and in this case calculate or inherit, because this one is a sublist of the wines. We have the wine list directly selected, and we can select the columns. All the columns that are from the same type can be inherited. So we have one column down here that is a lookup, and this one as well. That's it already. That was a lookup. Let's take a string field. That's a single line of text. We can do exactly the same. Inherit, wine name. There are some others, but in this case, we will have the wine name. And the wine type is a choice field, as you can see here. The same is possible for choice fields.
The only important which you need to notice, the fields have to be from the same type, of course. You cannot, of course, inherit lookup to text field. That will not work. And if you guys are working with choice fields, you need to take care the choice fields have the same choices enabled, of course. So now we have inheritance set. If we go here and refresh our wine pictures, yeah,
they have all the same value as we have here.
Yeah, we have inherited primitivo. We have inherited inherited wine name, and we have inherited wine type, which is a red wine in this case.
And as well will work if you change the name.
He added
will
two.
automatically.
For those of you who didn't see, he added two letter primitivo.
Yes, I'm just too fast. Have one eye on the time.
You see two on the right side. So we updated the wine title, and we see the updated wine title also in the wine name field of the child list, which are wine pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. One thing we were seeing all the time but never actually tried are those link actions on the left side. What are they good for?
So link actions, as I said, are links with actions behind, and the cool thing is not just one action, and that was always, you can of course have a link here, just add them with a content editor, but here it's much more powerful. You can go back to our page where we have these actions on this form, and in this scenario, for example, we want to order some other wine, because if our wine is empty, we don't have some wine in the inventory, we can reorder them with an action from
so
here.
Basically, if you have less than 10 buttons to find, there should be a big red fat button, order more wine. And that's what we are going to do now.
Order wine. That's how you can add a new action. Simply select an icon from here, but that's what you're not going to do right now. And here is the action builder. So here you can configure 1 to multiple actions that are triggered with the click. And in this scenario, we have a couple of different action types we can trigger. Of course, if it's very complex, we can start a workflow as well. But for a lot of things,
for a second, we really can do stuff like adding and updating list items in the background for the user not to see it. We can execute the JavaScript, the whole JavaScript files, block JavaScript blocks. We can do HTTP requests. Just think of SharePoint OAuth and SharePoint REST interfaces. We can open list forms, web pages. We can send emails, show messages, and start workflows. I think we are going to start sending emails, Matt.
Mm-hmm. So first of all, we want to send an email to a guy to order some new wine. Secondly, we will add new wine to the inventory, and the last action will be, we will show a success message, all with one click. So simply the from will be from myself, so sent by user's email address.
So we have the whole user context here as well, as if I see well.
Here is my email address.
Yeah, it's the user context. Thank you very much. So we see that each expression we can also evaluate with this test button, but we are going to leave that for now. So 2.
Second is we can as well access, for example, the from the manufacturer. We can access the email address. This is a lookup like this.
Yeah, but just type an email address there.
But in this case, yeah, let's just type one. We have a test user to have the email address. How is it called? skybotest@gmail.com.
Because those email addresses of manufacturers are empty. So let's give it some nice subject. Subject can be calculated as well. We need more by name.
And then let's take the title of the current wine. Whoops.
Typo.
And as well, of course, we can say.
Have a typo.
Huh?
I think you still have a typo there.
Sorry. Yes. Here. Thanks. There are only, and then let's grab the total amount, for example. So we can have as well the body of the email dynamically set here, only left, like this. It's actually HTML, so we can add like this. Thanks. And that's our email. Second action.
So just shortly, can you go back and close the bold tag? You would do me a great favor if you just close the bold tag down there.
Sorry, I wanted to type BR for a break.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
The bold tag open.
No, sorry.
Now we want to actually, theoretically, the story is the guy sent us new wine, we paid him, and we actually want to this wine in stock. Let's just simulate this process. We are adding a list item in the background.
Want to add some wine to this here.
You see, form immediately analyzed the list and opened us the fields which we need, and we are just going to add some.
This is our lookup. We want to connect it, so we want to pass the ID from this wine where we are to the inventory. We need to pass the ID, and of course we can have this all dynamic. In this case, I will just I'll do
2000.
Or let's take like this 2060, just a fixed value, and let's take an amount of 15.
Okay.
And last but not least, we want to show a success message in the status bar, saying
kind of a toast message.
Like this. Great. For let's say 7 seconds, and it's a success message. So all by configuring 3 actions with 1 click.
They are executed sequentially, so one after another, and you can change the order of this sequence if you want.
And every action can have a condition as well, so if it should be executed or not. That's it, basically.
We want to add a condition that this is shown only if you have less than 10 bottles of wine.
That's possible with this tier here. So we have visible and enabled. We simply grab if total amount is less than 10.
Then show this. Otherwise,
only then it should be visible, otherwise not. Can be as well if a user is in a specific group or whatever.
Let's save this, close editing and this kind of stuff, and let's try how it works.
So like this, and
Primitivo has enough, so take, let's say, we had a typo somewhere.
Oh, this is enough as well. Let's go back, take another one.
Yeah.
Let's take this one here.
I think this one is empty. We have 0 bottles of wine there. And we have a typo in our formula. That can happen.
Okay, but then the action is not shown. Maybe simply, so I just want to show the action, so I will remove it just for a second. And let's refresh here.
There's our let's red order wine button. If you click this, we have a typo. Let's just okay. This is a demo effect that happens.
Demo.
That's a demo effect. Let's go back to our wines and let's just show how in 2 clicks how to make this whole form pretty. Because we are going to integrate our theme designer into this one. We have here standard SharePoint styles. Matt is going to show us really with existing style how to reapply existing style to here. If we start with the theme designer.
Exactly. If we go back to here, as he said, it's not, theme design is not yet integrated, but I installed the theme designer add-in in the background. So that's this one here, and this is there's actually another webinar for this specifically theme designer as well. It's what it is it is an easy CSS builder. So to make the stuff looking pretty, we can use this one on every page where you are. For example, here, theme designer is loaded over here, and you can show the theme designer as an admin, and you can simply select, come on, what you want to change, what style you want to give. Hello, like this. It automatically recognizes what is on this page. So action links, list view search, and we can go whether from here, for example, to the search button and give it a style, like make it bold, maybe a background color light green, and you will automatically see what is happening. So now for you, I pre-created a style because it really creates CSS in the background like this. I have these two styles, bold and the color. I will simply grab a predefined theme with the red stuff, with the alternating rows. That's one thing that was gone in, I'm not sure, 2013, 2016. And back in 2010, we had this alternating rows. Makes it much more, it's better to look at. And this theme can be now stored as a theme, like demo, and then apply it whether to a very specific place or to the whole site. So we can simply select apply this theme, and then whether to the whole master page everywhere in this site or to a specific list and its forms here, 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 or just say yes, master page.
Cool. Matt, thanks. We are running shortly out of time. It's already 5 p.m. Let's just take 5 minutes, if you guys are all right, to talk about future and what we are actually going to do with this and how to manage this. We need to close the demo and switch back to the our slides.
You're right. So
okay, one thing which we didn't obviously manage to here is you can integrate here. For example, I made a virtual tab price development. You can integrate here right now to an iframe the whole Power BI reports based on those data. Very soon, Microsoft is actually going to release a Power BI web part, so it's going to be even easier to integrate Power BI reports into all this stuff. What is coming until from now, and this you are going to see in the next slide, is the full reporting engine based on Word and OpenXML processing. This is coming from our side, from Skybow side. So you will also be able to create Word and PDF reports out of your data. Just think like about stock reports, buying stock reports, or whatever. So what we are still working on, what's coming really soon, the next thing which is coming in the next weeks, literally, is packaging and deployment. Since right now you're able to work on one SharePoint site, as Matt just did, we are going to make it packageable and deployable and to deploy to any SharePoint online target right now. Theme designer integration, which Matt just showed, disconnected. Matt had a theme designer app installed already. Theme designer is going to be connected, integrated fully in Solution Studio Online. There are cool things we call conditional and scheduled actions. What you saw now with those linked actions, like send mail, like start workflow, like add list item or whatever, you need to manually click on this action link to actually start that action. You will be able to execute the same set of actions either conditionally, when something happens, then execute something. Let's say new wine came to the stock, immediately start a workflow or something like that. or schedule the action, generate me a report every Monday morning. This is coming from our kitchen also in the next few weeks. Reporting, as I said, we will be making full-fledged reporting based on Word documents with placeholders and where in Word documents the whole the SharePoint data from your list of libraries will be pumped in. Let's say if you need to create a stock report, wine stock report of your wine cellar, how would you do that in SharePoint right now? It's basically not possible. We are going to make that thing possible. As soon as Microsoft opens the development model, we are actually going to support modern pages in SharePoint framework. And at some point of time in the next half year, we are also going to fully support SharePoint Server on premises 2013 or 2016. Right now, this is all only for SharePoint Online. But we have a full roadmap. Matt, if you could just click on that, where you guys can always see what we are actually working on. We have launched, development, planned, cancelled. There's nothing cancelled. This is really cool. If you click on launch, you see what we have done until now, and which things will be also coming in the future.
Let me. I mentioned in the beginning you can influence the product, and it's available here in the portal as well. Of course, here you can see where we are working on, what has been launched. But if you have good ideas or you need help, whatever, you can go to community discussions or ideas, place your ideas in here, vote for them, vote for ideas from others. This is how you can, give us a direction where we what we should work on. And another thing I want to mention in here is, of course, the most important for us is about how is it licensed, because that's really important for you. You as a builder, one user is always for free, so you can start, register for Solution Studio, start building your solutions. You can try it out, everything for free. And here, if you want to make it productive, or you want to have other users using this solution, then you can simply go to this licensing page here. This is where you can see what's being used, and simply delete or add some of the accelerators. This will generate the license in the background. For one user, it's always for free, and if you go to 200, it will really transparent, calculate the costs, just pay with credit card and save and pay with credit card. So it's simple as this. One user is for free, and you can just start. The package and publish is already here, but it's not yet in there. You can see it's coming soon. That's what we are working on really hard to bring solutions from one system or site collection, site whatever, to another one. That's what is coming soon.
Cool. We are actually coming slowly. Typical solutions, and we're going to be templating some of those, is like travel management, asset management, which we can just show, leave requests, contract management, fleet management. Those are the kind of stuff which you can really easily and fast build with Solution Studio Online. This is just some of the examples for what can be done.
Let's give some time for questions. Andreas.
To skip this recap, we don't need to recap. Let's just skip the questions a little. Let's give the mic to Andy. Hi, Andy.
Yes, hello together. I hope you can hear me well.
Yep.
We had several questions, but all of them were already answered. And I just want to give some highlights. There were, of course, questions about new features like the SharePoint model pages, are they supported, or the on-prem stuff, or even cross-site collection lookups and so on. But there, as Matthias already has shown, we have the roadmap where you all the time can have a look what is in development, what we already are in planning, and so on. And you even can add your own ideas. So this is actually really perfect from a customer side because you really can influence. Yes, the other thing is as well the topic, hey, can I reuse the dossier as a template? So I just was answering this, that we are really hard working on, we started working on the package and publish mechanism, where you then in the future can reuse your dossiers as a template, or you can share it to other people's and so on. Yes, and a really good thing was the question, was this demo real, not PowerPoint? So, yeah.
It's real.
Yeah, that's why we integrated actually some errors to make it real.
It's as real that we can even integrate some errors in it. There needs to be a demo effect. But let's just use this question to ask to really invite people. Go to my.skybow.com. That's your favorite address. Go to my.skybow.com. Try this. It costs you nothing. For a single solution builder, it costs you nothing.
Yes. Thank you. This was from my side.
Thanks, Andreas. And thanks to all of you for having you here. There will be a recording about this, so you can send it to your colleagues afterwards.
And of course, this webinar was for free, but if you really want somehow to thank Matt or me for this webinar, whenever you see us on some events around, we will gladly accept a bottle of wine as a present.
Yeah,
thanks everyone, and thanks for being with us, and sorry for being 10 minutes late with this webinar, but according to the number of questions I was just browsing, it seems it was worth it. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.